team, Coach Lee here. Today we're going to be going over the lead teep and one of the ways that I utilize it, that I really like to utilize it. So first off, we're going to break down the lead teep to give you some mechanical knowledge and some technical knowledge. That way you have a clear idea of how it's performed. Okay. So when we use the lead teep, there's a couple ways that teeps are done, or push kicks. All right. So there's kind of like a straight leg version, which is more like a Dutch style teep, or there's more like the Thai way, which is like a spring. Okay. So I'll pull my knee up and extend out. So I pull my knee up and I extend out, and my leg is extending away from my body. All right. So I compress like a spring and I expand like a spring. So in addition to that, I really want to make sure that I'm hitting with the ball of my foot and not my toes. I don't want to hit with my heel or flat foot. I actually want to point my foot and use the ball of my foot to stab. All right. So I shouldn't be, a lot of times, like you'll see these teeps thrown or push kicks thrown, and your opponent's going to fly away, and they're like, whoosh. All right, and that's not necessarily what we want to do with this particular teep. We want to stab. So it should stop him in his tracks, but it shouldn't be throwing him away. So when I make that stab, it should be very quick, and that kind of movement is acceptable. He still stays inside my attack range, and I've shut down any forward movement from him if there is any. All right, which is kind of how I use the lead teep. All right, so that's the foot part. Now, second to that, we have our hands and what to do with it. Okay, so first we have our jackpot, which is going to look like this. So the foot that's kicking, that hand is swinging down and past the hips, while the other one is coming across and over and protecting the head and face. All right, this is keeping punches and elbows from coming in, while this hand helps create the momentum. So it looks like this. All right. So that's the jackpot. And then second, we have the stack, or a type of reach. Okay, it's kind of the long guard version of this, which I'm going to actually push my hand forward and keep my right hand back close to my face as defense. Okay, so it looks more like this. All right. More often than not, that's the hand position you'll see me use. But it does depend on the situation. There are occasions where I'll jackpot. I just don't like my hand out of the way or low when I'm standing in front of my opponent. But some people utilize it really, really well. Okay? I personally like the stack. And so you can kind of see what it looks like. Joshy will use his gloves right here, and you can kind of see when he throws what it looks like with gloves. All right? So he's using his rear hand as protection and his lead hand to keep distance while he throws the teep. Okay? So again, we have jackpot and we have the stack or the long guard reach. Okay? So, and that's on the lead teep or lead push kick. And we're going to the body with this particular one. Okay? So the way that I use this the most is to stop an advancing opponent. All right. So let's say Joshy and I are separated and have some good fight measure, and I see him coming in for a punch. All right. I'm going to use that to shut down his advancement. All right. And a lot of times I'll follow it up with my own attack because it stopped him. All right. And it just stops him, pops the air out of him, and you connect well when you hear him go. All right. You hear him or all right. And that's the stab that we're looking for. And you should be able to see in the video the difference between the big push, like whoosh, versus the stab, which is whoosh. I'm just stopping him there. Okay? So whoosh, it's just a stab. All right? And a lot of times when I come out of that, whoosh, 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 and it allows me to set up my own attack. So I'm shutting down his advancement, and initiating my own attack. All right. So again, we have the lead teep. It comes up, springs out, and we can either jackpot or we can stack. All right. And we're trying to do this in timing with his punch. So when I see that punch come, whoosh, I'm going to shut it down. The good thing about that is that it's underneath his punch, and a lot of time it doesn't get seen until it's too late. It's a very quick kick anyways, but if they're looking to hit and they're looking where they're trying to punch, they're less likely to see that teep come up underneath their hands. All right? It's why I like it, and I use it a lot. All right? But you do have to be aware that once you start to set up a pattern, if you use it more than a few times very close together, that he'll start defending it. All right? And we'll go over the defense later, but we want to be careful about setting a pattern unless we're setting the pattern intentionally so that we can break it. Now, if you come to my classes, you know that that is one of the things that I teach. Set a pattern, break it, set a pattern, break it. It's one of my principles in striking that I like to work into our program, and all of our Muay Thai artists here use it. All right, kids, if you're watching, that's something to start putting in your fight brain, is set a pattern, break it. Set a pattern, break it. It's a way that we can surprise our opponent by utilizing very simple things and then throwing something else in its place. All right. So one more time through, I use the ball of my foot, expand, all right, and we can jackpot or we can reach. Okay. So those are our options, and we're doing it as he moves in. And then Joshie will throw it on me. Good. See, it shuts me down even being longer. If I come in, all right, it shuts me down. And it usually keeps me in range that he can land a secondary attack. All right, if you're good and well balanced here, you should be able to march forward off of that or step forward off of that. So if he hits me, boom, he should be able to step and catch me with a secondary attack. All right, so that's the lead teep, and using it to shut down our opponent's advancement. All right, guys, thanks for watching. See you on the next video.